gratitude. What she said was that there's a lot of information out there about when twin flames are broken up and healing and all of that, but there's not a whole lot of information about when they actually reunite and the energies that you're dealing with and everything that goes on in that experience. And the truth is, when you've been with somebody and you have lived a lot of life with them, and then you guys break up and you go and have experiences without each other, especially with other people, it can be challenging when you come back together. It almost feels like they were cheating on you even though they weren't, right? Like, how could you? But anyways, this reading is intended to look at, what happens when you guys are reuniting and how to work through those energies and things like that. So, I hope that this helps you guys out, and I hope that you enjoy this. So I have your card here, the Hierophant, which is called Guidance, and the Syrian Starseed, and all decks I'm using are listed in the description below. But here you are, Taurus, and this is the story of Twin Flame Journey, the journey where you are intended to meet, break up, and then come back together. Now, for me, in that situation, I feel like we come together in kind of less grown, lower dimensional connection. Not to say it's not real and pure, okay, but just follow the story. So you meet in that connection and you don't really have a realistic idea of what this really is about, okay? And so then you break up, and then, life happens and you guys change, and there's a dimensional shift, and when you come back together, the relationship and connection is just on a whole nother level. So this particular tarot deck is beautiful in its ability to really express that dimensionality of things. So to make this a bit more fun, I'm going to pull a card that is, because these are the other 11 zodiac signs, and I recognize some of you have a Taurus twin flame, and there's not another Taurus card in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an extra card, and this does not exclude anybody's twin flame that is not this particular zodiac sign. I just felt inspired by Spirit, actually, like, hey, draw an extra card as an extra confirmation for some of you out there, okay? And I did have it where this card falls down, and I will take that as, Taurus, but if that happens, because it has, so, but otherwise, let's see, actually, you know what? I feel like there's two here. Alright, so we have Virgo and Aquarius. So those of you with a Virgo or Aquarius twin flame, this reading will be extra special for you. Does not exclude anybody else, but Spirit is giving a special message to those of you that have a Virgo or an Aquarius twin flame. So what are these cards? Well, let's get right in, Taurus. This is the story of your journey with your twin flame, and then I'm going to pull cards to make it very specific for you guys, okay? So here is the Ace of Cups, and on this side, in this dimension, we meet under the guise of the moon and stars. So there is much that's hidden about you and about your twin flame upon your initial meeting and connection. Doesn't mean that you're not feeling all ooey gooey for each other. It just is saying there's a lot that you just don't see yet, okay? And now the Ace transitions into the 2. And you see the sun is beginning to rise, and now the statue of Aphrodite, which is representative of the Ace of Cups in this deck, is off in the backdrop, okay? And the sun is rising. So this here is saying now we are starting to really see each other. We are not only starting to really see each other, we're also developing a stronger bond, and we're getting very close, okay? But the sun, or the stars and the moon are gone now, so things are starting to get real. And then we transition into this Lover's energy, and on this side, this is a bit more challenging. As you see, the sun is high in the sky now. There's nothing hidden. We see all the differences with each other, and we're now questioning our compatibility. There's great love, there's great connection, but you know, we're pushing against each other. We're trying to shape each other to better suit ourselves. And the other side of this energy is quite different. But this is just, you know, you are learning to adjust to each other. So it's human nature to try to push and pull, buck the current, and have things go the way that you desire them, okay? And now much more time passes and we transition into this Ten of Cups. So we start at the Ace of Cups and now we are here at the 10, and we all know tens are the completion of something. So the cups here represent all the moments and experiences that you have together, and there is definitely love here. You see the lovers embracing, but their clothes are a bit tattered and torn as they sit on the beach. Because on this side, what this is also saying is there's still many more lessons and experiences that need to be had, but not so much with each other, okay? So that's where the breakup comes into play, and you see now we transition into the Eight of Cups, and this is where we're walking away and we're leaving the relationship because we don't know how to make it work. It doesn't mean that there's not great love. We just don't know how to make it work. We don't know how to reconcile our differences and our perceived incompatibilities. So you'll notice that you achieved the Ten of Cups, but when you leave the relationship, we go down to the Eight. And that's because both you and your twin flame take a cup with you as you leave the relationship. You leave all of this behind, everything that was broken, but you take one cup each, the greatest part of the relationship, your love. So you never fully let the relationship go, okay? And now, you know, when we're without each other, we come into this Tower energy where it's complete and utter shock and shake up to our system. We're, you know, affected all the way down to our core, which ultimately brings us down and we will have to rebuild. So this is, you know, the destruction, but it doesn't matter. The love still remains. You see the white dove there? The love still remains despite the breakup and the shakeup, okay? And now you transition here to the Three of Swords, and this is sorrow, this is sadness, because you are experiencing, you know, the loss and disconnection of your twin flame, and it's very painful. So you do exist in this space for a while, but there is great purpose to all of this, I promise. And then we transition into this Ten of Swords from the Three. So this is the ultimate magnitude of sorrow, and you'll notice with all those swords penetrating his armor, nobody could possibly, you know, withstand an attack like that. Also, the sword that your twin flame holds in their hand and the sword you hold in your hand has a special significance that can penetrate each other's armor like nothing else, like no other weapon in this world. So you find yourself in this state right here where you don't feel like you're alive anymore, you know, like, who am I? What is my life even about? Like, what was the point of that connection for it to end like this? And, you know, it puts you in the state of the Hanged Man, where now to move forward, you realize you've got to sacrifice things about yourself. Reconciliation would mean your twin flame would have to sacrifice things about who they are. So much needs to change, right, for us to come back together. And as you are in this period of great contemplation, you start to see things a little differently. And that's, the proof to you that the dimensional shift is starting to take place. You see that little blue flower behind the sword there, or behind the shield, and you see our knight sitting there looking at the swords through the shield, through the heart. And he's in contemplation, and he's starting to see, his own hand in how things got to this state of being. It's, there could be some blame, there's still high emotions, we're still really upset, but we're coming into a place of understanding that what we had originally built with each other, our original concept of what twin flame love and connection was all about, was not on solid foundation, okay? Because these are the two sphinx that pull the chariot in this deck. So the chariot is now washed upon the shore, which means this initial victory is now washed away, and you and your twin flame swim off in different directions as you need to figure things out. You need to understand how everything got broken down and brought down. The mask here, that's a big deal. I feel like there's a lot of elements where there's things you didn't see and they didn't see about you, and it's shocking to see the truth, the whole truth of nothing but, right? But that's a part of the experience. That's part of unconditional love. So now, we have to be apart. We have to have our own experiences. We have to contemplate on this, why did everything play out the way it did? And you get there. And now we've taken the armor off and we sit and we are in contemplation. Healing has definitely begun. Sorry, somebody's alarm was going off out there. Healing has begun, okay? And this here, through the recognition of these energies, okay? The dimensional shift to the other side of the card, that's the shedding of that armor that was penetrated, okay? And so now he sits in contemplation mode, and you'll notice that an eclipse is taking place. He's realizing that, the eclipse is not the death of the sun. It's just a moment of temporary darkness. And on the other side of these cards was a moment of temporary darkness. And now we're coming into the understanding of that. And healing has begun. And once this has been shed, we are anew, okay? We have grown. We have expanded. And that brings us here, okay? Here's that reiteration of the eclipse. And now we transition to this side, and instead of an eclipse, we have a shooting star, a new beginning. And this is where healing has taken place, and within ourselves we've returned to the innocence and the purity of looking at everything through the eyes of our soul, and no longer being triggered by the whole experience in our emotional body. This is when we've conquered those energies, we've matured, we've shed the past here, and now we realize that the end was never the end. It was only to pave the way for a new beginning, okay? So once we transition into this energy here, then these two are like almost at the same transition point, okay? But we'll start with Hangman. On this side, again, the mask has come off. There's no confusion anymore. The illusion of all of this has fallen away, and we understand things. We understand our place in the universe. We understand the connection with our twin flame, where we went wrong, where they went wrong, why it had to happen the way that it did. And there are no more illusions, okay? The breakup happened to shed you of those so that you will have a level of unconditional love that is unexpressible in the language, okay? In human language. I don't know, depending on how spiritual you are, there's moments where you can be in that connection with spirit, with the universe, however you want to look at it, and the things that you understand and the way things just all of a sudden make sense inside of you, you're like, I have no way to articulate this. All I can tell you is I get it now. I get it, right? That's this energy where you're not fooling yourself anymore. You have taken full responsibility and accountability, as well as your twin flame, because this is the journey of both of you, okay? So now that we've achieved this, you're saying, hey, universe, what next? What now? What could possibly top that? Well, the reunitement can possibly top that, because on this side, you'll see now Aphrodite is in the sky. Your love has shifted dimension. Your love feels as though it's written in the stars on this side of the card, okay? This is my favorite card in the whole deck, to be honest. It's just so gorgeous to me, and what it represents. This is true soul connection right here, okay? So look at the difference in energy, okay? Had the breakup not happened, we would have stayed stuck here. Nope. The rainbow, the illusion, the beach, all of that, the romance. No, we've learned that twin flame connection isn't romantic. It's not about that, is it? And we've learned that. And now because we understand, because we've shifted dimensions, now we come back together and we come to this side of the Ace of Cups, where, as you can see, the sun is high in the sky. There's nothing hidden. We are fully aware. We honor, we value, we cherish our connection to our twin flame. And now, here, this transitions to this side. And this is literally I recognize my twin flame in your eyes, okay? That is the description of this card, the twin flame energy. So here, yeah, we feel the connection, but here there's no denying it, and we're both on board equally, okay? And because of that, finally, we transition to this side of the Lover's card, where we have learned to temper ourselves, and opposed to pushing against each other and bucking the current, we've learned how to flow with each other, all right? And this is a very beautiful energy and connection. You see Mercury, it is ultimate communication on all levels: spiritual, mental, verbal, emotional, even physically. Like, you guys wouldn't even need to share words with this side of the card, okay? So, Taurus, that is the journey of twin flames who come to initially meet under a false guise of understanding, break up, experience that pain to be completely ripped open, because not only does this change how you perceived this, it changed you on so many other levels about life, okay? So this is like you guys did each other a favor by putting each other through this, even though it didn't feel like that at the time. But once you shift into the state of this right here, you will have no question, and you will be grateful for this, okay? Because it will change everything and put you in the place of what you were really wanting to begin with, okay? So that is the story, general story overall. So Taurus, let's see what is going on for you and your twin flame personally when you guys come back together. Alright, so the overall energy and feeling when you guys reunite is that of faith, okay? And I love that, I believe this is a robin. If you look at it closely, it looks more like a robin, even though it's painted brown. But what I see here, what I'm getting from this card is, if you notice, the tree and the robin and everything else is kind of like in the background of the card, like kind of like the past. And then we have this beautiful young person, and then we see some purple. So to me, what I'm getting from this is that, you know, the raven can definitely represent some doom and gloom. That's in the fortune cards that I'll also be pulling from this in this reading. That's what the raven absolutely represents in that deck. So I feel like that energy is of the past, and you guys have this beautiful brand new connection where you're more aligning at the place of your inner child, each of you, which is your soul essentially. And the purple, you know, the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, the higher connection. So this to me is a confirmation of that dimensional shift, and the doom and gloom is in the past, because now we see each other, you know, in the divinity that you both are. So this is a really nice card, actually. But let's take a look at the potential insecurity and fear that you will have about your reunitement, and the biggest insecurity and fear your twin flame has about the reunitement. Okay, cut, shuffle. That's what I felt. Cut and shuffle. Alright, so your biggest fear is, does my twin flame really got my back, or can I really handle this? Because the dragon is a worthy adversary, or I'm sorry, I always say that wrong. Is a worthy challenge or a dangerous adversary. There we go. Okay, so there you are definitely intrigued by your twin flame and the connection and, you know, the unknown of it. But at the same time, you're like, you know, do you really have my back? Are you going to burn me? I mean, this is the dragon. Dragons breathe fire, right? So perhaps your twin flame burned you in the past, and that's what this is about. But it's either, are you going to burn me again, or am I really strong enough to handle this type of energy? Okay, but this is just a fear and insecurity. And they're coming out as triumph over adversity. So their biggest fear and insecurity is that you guys can't get over your differences, or something that has happened, you know, can we really overcome this and move past it without it affecting and tainting our relationship moving forward. So they seem more concerned about, can we overcome whatever happened in the past? And you are like, you know, are you going to burn me, or, man, am I really strong enough to go at this again? Like, can we do this? So on one level, there's kind of that same, if you're worried, am I strong enough? And they're worried, can we really overcome this? So there is that synchronicity there, but for some of you, because it's the dragon, it's definitely because, oops, sorry, make sure my elbow smacked. I want to make sure I didn't hit the camera and change the view. Anyways, some of you just might be worried, hey, you burned me. Are you going to do it again? So let's see what the remedy is for these insecurities and fears. Alright, peace. Dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. So what this is telling you, Taurus, is you've got to get your mind under control. This, to me, is your fears are unwarranted, and they feel so strong because you're rehashing them over and over and over in your head, and that's typical. When we're worried about something, what do? We just play every scenario over and over in our head, and this is telling you to overcome this insecurity, this fear, this is what you need to do, because it is unfounded at this point. Maybe in the past, yes, but you guys wouldn't come back together if you weren't strong enough to make it through, okay? And this is a beautiful energy. So, the remedy for them: attachment, letting go, restriction, fear. This is, again, I've got to let go of the past. I've got to let go of my fears, that we, can get through this and move forward. So you both are like really nervous, like, can we do this? And I feel that it's that energy because whoever hurt who, or if you guys hurt each other equally, or if it didn't even go down like that, it was just somebody was like, you know what, I'm not ready for this. However it played out, you both were a bit traumatized by that. And, that's like your biggest hang up is whatever happened before. But remember, the whole story we just went through, you're in a different place now. So let's see some energy around their reunite. Alright, so we have deception. Yeah, so there was definitely something wasn't all out in the open. You deserve love. Either you or your twin flame, somebody was not honest. Somebody did something here, and I really feel what this is on both sides. Or you both could have been dishonest with each other. I mean, this is a general reading. So, I think for a lot of you, though, you got burned and you're scared that they're wearing a mask for whatever reason, and you're like, listen, either you're in it 100% or you're not. You're in it to win it, or I'm not giving you a shot. Because, man, with faith and deception, both of you are just really nervous, or one of you is really like, I don't know if I can trust this. Like, is this real? Is this, happening for real? So let's pull some cups cards here to see what is your emotional energy to your twin flame when you reunite, and what is theirs towards you. Alright, so yeah, you have the Seven of Cups. This is like, your thoughts are all over the place, is what I'm just going to go with this. Whether you're having all these fantasies and making plans, or if these are representative of a bunch of different fears and insecurities, it's just like you're all over the place. And I feel like it has to do with this worry. Like, you don't know if it's safe. Like, is it safe for me to land here? And they're coming through as the Three of Cups. So there you feel great celebration, and excitement and happiness in this reunitement. They really do. But because we have 3 cups here and attachment, I really feel like the hesitation for many of you is because there were either just really bad behaviors, addictions, things like that, either on your behalf or theirs in the past, or, you know, there was a third party situation, or when you guys were apart, you dated or they dated, and that's kind of like a factor now, whatever happens with that energy. But the truth is, at the end of the day, like, you guys are twin flames, and whatever that other energy was about, whether it represents a person or addiction or bad behavior or just bad choices in general, you know, it's a thing of the past. It really is. So let's pull some flames card to see what your spiritual energy is towards each other. Alright. So they are definitely the only one you want, no matter what. No matter what's happened, like, you only burn for them. This is the Ace of Flames. There's no other flames indicated in this card, so even if they put you through hell and back and burned you, you know, burned your ass good, you're the only one that I love, and you feel like a single flame in a twin flame relationship. Sometimes I think, like, I never ever got that message, but that's what I feel like. Hey, I'm burning, I'm shining, and I'm like by myself here. What's up? I'm a lone twin flame. I lost my twin. So, and I feel like that's more of the relationship you originally shared, and then, you know, when you were broken up, I just feel like you have loved them the whole time through, and that's just all you want is them. And they're coming through as the 9 of Flames. So, yeah, this has been a very long journey. They have learned quite a bit. Okay, I just feel like they have been living a bit more life than you, based on this card. And that's represented by these 9 flames, but here you are, the one flame in their hands, like, I choose you. So you are one flame, nothing else going on, but despite anything else they had or experienced, they choose you, okay? They choose you. So let's see what needs to be healed for you guys, and each one of you, for these insecurities. I just feel like you guys are having a hard time with stuff that happened in the past. Alright. Wheel of Life. So, Taurus, this is saying that you need to accept all experiences of the twin flame journey, okay? The good, the bad, the painful, the out of this world amazing, because they're all part of the journey. It says, I am guided by the cycles of life and live in complete harmony with them. You need to trust that everything that happened is exactly the way that you wanted it before you came, and I love that. You know, this is like orangey yellow, and this is blue, and it's like, you know, the opposite. This is blue and that's orangey yellow, and I just feel like, you know, that's very synchronistic. Get your energies balanced. There's nothing to fear, okay? Wow, and look at this. They've got the Moon Goddess. That's card 41. This is card 42. Very synchronistic. I am in a harmonious flow with the moon's energy in all phases of life. So I feel like because this card came out for you, this card, there was no other card close to this meaning except for this one. Okay? So to me, this is the same exact message. Like, you both really need to let the past go, whatever happened, and realize that you have shifted dimension. You have shifted your energy a great deal through all you have been through, yeah, it's time for fulfillment for all the work that you guys put in and everything that you went through. It's time for happiness now, Taurus. So we've got to let this past go so we could be in love, because it looks like a blessed reunitement to me based on this reading. That's all I'm going to say. So let's see what experiences are in store upon the reconciliation. And we had 2 jumpers. Oh yes, I love it. So we have hope, okay? And then we have conclusion. And we have oath. Oh my God, Taurus. Let me tell you, let me break it down. This hope and faith, hand in hand, right? You both want this. And conclusion, this is saying, Taurus, the past is the past. That was a whole different book. The past was a whole different book. Now, this reunitement, it's a new book. Like, it has nothing to do with it. This is not even a freaking trilogy, okay? It's a whole new book altogether, a whole different story, adventure, all of it. So, the past is the past, and what needed to happen did, and it did serve you, and because of that, now when you come back together, you will treat each other so much differently than you did in the past. And then we have oath. This is like, I'm yours until the end. Until the end. Till the end of my life, I am yours. Okay? So, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let that past go. So, let's pull some advice to wrap this up for you guys. But that looks really awesome to me. Yeah, look at that. Error meditation, and then we got the shadow. This is that energy of like, oh, is everything that happened before just going to happen again? No, it's not. So we have earth and beauty, nature's calling, and play and be amazed. What I feel is take your focus off the shadow and put it on the beauty. Put it on the now. Focus on all the things about your twin flame that you do love, that are beautiful, not the shadow side, not what's happened in the past. It's not to say that doesn't exist. It's just saying, listen, it's time to play and be amazed, be excited, be happy, enjoy this, reunion with each other. Don't be in fear. The past is the past. You've seen that reiterated over and over in this reading. So, Taurus, that is what I have for you in regards to the reunitement with your twin flame. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading, and if you have, remember to send some love to Star Sapphire. I am